Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you something a little different. Now usually when I make a tutorial I know exactly what I'm doing, but for this one I'm not 100% sure. I only learned about this recently because the amount of help and documentation on this stuff is a lot more limited than everything else I've done. But regardless of all of that, that's just to say I might not get everything right here, but I'm gonna try my best. And also, this particular thing we're doing here only works for Garry's mod in the way that I'm doing it. And then what we're doing today is custom soundscapes. Now, if you don't know what a soundscape is, you might want to look up a tutorial for that before getting into this one. But basically, all it is these guys in your levels that play sounds not in a specific direction but just kind of all around you. They're usually used for background sounds like cars, birds, etc. And I'm going to be showing you how to make some custom ones for Gmod today. So first what you want to do is you want to start with a sound. Now for today's tutorial I have pirated 3 songs off the internet that are not particularly unique or anything. They're just kind of songs that everybody knows. I've pirated these because I want to show you how to do the audio thing. So first we're going to need Audacity. Most of you will probably already have it for various other reasons, but if you don't, it's free. Works pretty well. A lot of documentation, all of that nice stuff. And you're going to want to take your audio file, whatever it is, and drag and drop it into Audacity. And one of the things you're going to want to look at is the project rate. By default, it might be a different number, but we want to be at 44,100 for your project rate. And you can do whatever else you want in here, but your project rate just needs to be 44,100. And once you're done with that, you want to export the file as a WAV file. And then as long as your project rate was 4400, this should export as a 44,100 file. Alright, we've done those, and now you can see because of the audio player I have, you can tell these ones in gray are the WAV files, but you also, if you can't tell which is which, make sure you have file name and extensions turned on under view if you're on Windows 10, Windows 11, I have no idea. And then you should have the file name extension right there. So once you have that, you want to take these, you want to cut them or move them into your Garry's mod directory. So we go to Garry's mod, we go to browse local files. You could also just go to your pinned Gmod folder if you have it pinned, whatever. So once you're in Garry's mod under Steam Apps Common, you go to Garry's mod again, and then you go to sound. Now, most of you will probably not have a sound folder, some of you might. But if you don't have one, create one. It's just sound, all lowercase, that's the folder name. And then you want to make another folder named whatever you want. For the purpose of today's tutorial, I'm naming it background sound, or just background, sorry. And you're going to want to put your WAV files in there. So now we have our music in here. And while you're here, you might want to simplify the names. Again, I pirated these off the internet. So they have really long name extensions because I just ripped them off YouTube. So we're going to get some of these down. There we go. So we have those all down. And once you have that, back out, go back to this main Garry's mod directory here with all these other folders, including the screenshot folder, and make a folder named scripts. Again, some of you might have a folder named scripts, but most of you won't. So make a folder named scripts, and mine is empty right now because I'm going to get into the sort of the hard part, but not really. Now, you want to make a text file in this new folder you've made called scripts. And what you want to name it is the word soundscapes underscore your map name. Now my map name is GM Soundscape Test. So I'm going to put GM soundscape test. And there we go. So we have soundscapes _ GM soundscape test. Make sure you get your map name right. It has to be exactly what your map is named. Soundscapes, it's just soundscapes _, but you have to have exactly your map name. And again, this only works for Gmod. If you're doing this for another game, this process is slightly different. So once you have that down, we'll go to my example file here, and I'll put this in the description. This is your code that you want to have in this file. And I stole this from another tutorial. I stole this from the tutorial by Drimps. The reason I'm making my own is because Drimps doesn't go into too much detail, and when I followed it, I couldn't get it to work. But anyway, we have this code here. So this is pretty self-explanatory. The name that you want your soundscape to be. Now, this doesn't have to be super specific. It can kind of be whatever you want, but for the purpose of organization, I'm going to name it whatever the song is named. So let's do Clint Eastwood first, because that's just the easiest name here. And then we go back to our script here. Oh, I never copied the code over. Make sure you do that, obviously. So copy that code over from the description, put it in your script here, and then we'll do the sound name. I am such a mess today. This is a little bit of a crazy tutorial. Okay, so the sound name up here. I guess we're doing Highway to Hell. I accidentally copied Highway to Hell. That's what I'm gonna do now. The rest of the script doesn't matter. If you're wanting to make a more advanced soundscape, if you want to do it more correctly, I'm just showing you how to do it if you want just a sound you've already downloaded to play. But if you want different sounds happening at random times, like birds chirping at random intervals, or like just smaller sounds happening, I would highly recommend the tutorial series by Top Hat Waffle, which is a very that's an ad playing. It's a very familiar name in the Hammer community, and I kind of learned how to use Hammer through Top Hat Waffle. Top Hat Waffle has a, granted, very old. 2011 was a long time ago, but pretty in-depth tutorial on how to create a custom soundscape. So, but it's kind of hard to find, so I'll put those in the description. But he goes into greater detail about soundscapes than I'm going to go into here. But yeah, so you have this code here. Right here, so you change the title at the top, and then at the bottom you also change something here. So you're going to want to know the folder name. So obviously we go back to sound, and the folder is named background. So where it says pound or hashtag, you put the word background. And then soundName.fileFormat. This is obviously going to be the sound name with the file format. Now, if you have that file name extensions on, you should be able to rename it and copy the name of the extension outright. I think it lets you do that if you have the extension names on. So you just copy that, you backspace this, put this in here, and then boom, we have all our code set up, and then we can save. So let's go back here and make sure we have everything right. Yep, that's the map name, that's all of that. So before I do any of that, I'm going to compile my map real quick. And in my map right here, right now, there's no sound playing. If I walk over to this room, it starts playing that fluorescent or indoor computer hum. That's kind of common in some areas in Source Engine games. And that's because I set that soundscape to do that. So before you do anything, make sure your soundscapes work, but mine do, so we're going to close out. And now we want to go over here. So I had it set to indoor, which is one of the default options here. These soundscapes, obviously, you know how they work. They use any thing you type in here if it can find it. Now, what we just did was we told we made a new soundscape and we named it this. So the name at the top here, at the very top of your script, is what the soundscape is, what the game's going to look for. So we're going to change in the word indoor to the highway to hell, and then we're going to apply. Once you've done that, you can compile the map again, and you'll notice that instead of playing an electronic hum, that this room just emanates AC/DC highway to hell for some reason. Now, and this doesn't have to be a song. I just thought songs would be easy to understand for this. And my video is going to get copyright. So we'll walk over here. I have a soundscape here that is silence. So yeah, that's how you do one custom soundscape. I'm going to show you how to do more than one after that. If that music could stop. And we're going to go back to our code here. Let's say I want Clint Eastwood, because I think that's also in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our scripts, and we're going to take this entire thing, or you could copy it back from the original description, hit enter once, and paste it again. I had a friend help me out with this because I messed it up initially, but in Hammer, whatever language Hammer uses, it's as simple as just pasting the thing again for multiple soundscapes to happen here. Now you do have to change the name and everything, which we are going to do. So make sure you save, or at least make sure you save after you do this. So let's get Clint Eastwood. Let's go back here. Let's change the title at the top. And we have to change the file name. You don't have to change the directory. We've copied that from the previous, unless you copy it from my description, then you do. So now we get the audio off the file name. And then you go to the script, back to the script, and you paste that in there. Now we have Clint Eastwood. We have Clint Eastwood as this. I'm actually going to preemptively copy this so I don't have to open this folder again once I open Hammer. So now Hammer's open, and we will make another soundscape. So we move this. Let's say on the left side of the room, it plays Clint Eastwood, and on the right side of the room, it plays Highway to Hell. So we do that. Now we go into here. We backspace this. I guess left side. This is the player left if they're entering the room. And now we have two different soundscapes here. Make sure you save your map, and then compile. Alright, we got that node graph out of date, all those crazy pop-ups. And now let's go left. And Clint Eastwood starts playing. But go right. And sometimes there's a delay. I don't know if it's because of because the audio isn't packed in. Here, let's shut this up so I can talk. I don't know if it's because we haven't used PackRat and packed the audio in, or Gmod just can't handle this many soundscapes, but sometimes there is audio slowing down or lagging your game when it swaps between custom ones. You can see there's some frame rate issues, and it takes a minute for the sound to change. But yeah, basically, that's how you do custom soundscapes. Like I said, and I can't stress this enough, there are definitely more interesting things you can do with soundscapes. You don't have to do just two songs. I was doing songs because it would be easy to illustrate in tutorial. Like I said, Top Hat Waffle has an amazing series linked in the description, but it's called Creating a Soundscape and Looping a WAV. He has a 2-part series on it, and it's really amazing. I also want to shout out this Reddit thread, which helped me understand a little bit of the specifics of the soundscapes in Garry's mod specifically. So I want to shout out uh Skate6788 and Grandol Fanog for having the same question as me. Again, Hammer is a community tool, and community needs to help each other. So thank you, those people. Thank you, Drimp, for part of the stuff on this and the code down here. Because I'm not a programmer, and I wouldn't have known how to do any of this. Basically, I talked too much. You got a tutorial out of it. Subscribe today if you want to see more tutorials when I find out something else I don't know how to do, and I can learn and share with you guys.